2020, Melly was involved in a multi-inmate fight inside the day room of his area unit and was given a DR for his role in the fight. October 2020, placed on a room restriction for refusing to go back to his cell as he was trying to hide while on the phone.
And developing now, there's a new push to get rapper YNW Melly out of jail. He's currently awaiting retrial for 2 childhood friends, but a new lawsuit alleges he's being held in inhumane.
Get your popcorn ready because we're going to break everything down. This tea is a YNWMelly movie that has been leaked extensively. Who is actually out there after Melly, having been jumped in jail? Is it revenge, a setup, or something darker, Judge? It's complicated, I promise you. Apart from allowing the Broward County Sheriff's Office, BSO, further time to address Melissa's complaint, Melissa Damon allowed a jail guard to testify about her release. The BSO then returned and charged Melly with more than 100 crimes during her detention. Regardless, Melly's team asked the jail guard a lot of questions about how he was treated during the deposition, and it seems that an investigation is still going on because Melly allegedly engaged a deputy and a couple of jail tech workers in an incident that led to the deputy's departure in their motion. Consequently, they asked for more time to reply to. They are trying to present their position in its entirety and appear to need as much space as possible, which is why Melly petitioned and was granted permission to go over the court-mandated 10-page restriction. While in pretrial detention, Melly filed a petition claiming that his rights were being infringed. Among other things, he says his Sixth Amendment right to counsel has been totally ignored. As you might remember, Melly has been incarcerated since. Indeed, it has been more than 6 years since he committed the grave accusations against 2 of his friends in 2018, and he has been making trouble while he waits for his trial. Additionally, he is suspected of interfering with witnesses in the homicide investigation as part of a witness tampering case. Melly's supporters contend that his 3 years in prison are warranted, particularly as he is still considered to be. They claim it is just unacceptable because it violates his Sixth Amendment right to see his attorney and constitutes cruel and unusual punishment under the Eighth Amendment. According to BSL, his actions were the reason behind all of these penalties, which included the revocation of privileges and the application of harsher confinement. They added that these regulations were typical jail procedures and that violating them would have repercussions. As of right now, BSO has until December 6th to demonstrate Melly's detention and offer supporting paperwork and legal arguments. They assert that it takes more time to gather documents, transcripts, and other proof to back up their assertions. BSO flatly rejects all of the accusations brought against them by Melly's team, arguing that they are simply performing their job and that none of their activities warrant an unduly harsh penalty. But the fundamental question is this individual fabricating stories, or do his actions in jail seem out of character? At the time, Melly's 100 violations and whether or not they are truly keeping him from seeing his attorneys were the primary points of contention in the case. BSO essentially asserts that Melly has been misusing his phone privileges, which is what led to some of these limits, even if 4 years of violations is still a lot. PSL is asking for more time to collect all the records, transcripts, and evidence they feel bolster their claim because of ongoing investigations into witness tampering in his homicide case. They are arguing that they need more than the 10 pages the court permitted to be utilized to present everything. First, they wanted 20 pages, but now they want 30. Warland seems to be the key character, especially given that the hearing is scheduled for January 17. It seems that he has had several interactions with Melly while working as a jail guard. Because he has been involved in high-risk transports and hospital details, he has probably seen some things. Melly's team will therefore have to wait to find out additional information. Ryan W. Borland says in his opening statement that he has been following Paul about all day and has been addicted to Melly since he has been at his residence. But the entire shadowing thing is just jail speak for keeping a close eye on him to keep him under control. The key conundrum is why Melly was transferred even though she wasn't originally held in the main jail. Although there was a buildup of infractions, Melly's phone antics appear to be the main culprit, the YNW band explains. Melly appeared to be using other people's pins in addition to his own when making calls. We have heard similar stories in the LL case and other situations, so it's a typical jail tactic to periodically let people use his pin to circumvent limitations. Ryan W. Borton asserts that the jail rulebook is entirely broken in relation to the pin sharing issue. The misuse of FAM's rights under Section 22 is the intriguing aspect. Although pin abuse is common in jails, Nelly's case appears to have received more attention because it continues to happen. At D.M. Rye, Borland claims that the move to Paul Rain was made for a variety of additional reasons in addition to these phone issues. He conveniently decides not to talk to the mall, though, because the probe is still ongoing. The investigation is about deputies, not Melly. Borland stammers as if he's poured too much tea. What precisely do Melly's actions mean? The most startling aspect is that even W. Borland seems to be unaware of the facts. His attempts to backtrack on his remarks are telling, and he admits that he is unsure if the investigation is ongoing or has been concluded. He's also witnessed tampering, engaged in some questionable behavior with jail staff, and had more phone drama. 2 deputies at a detention center are still the subject of an investigation. But the issue is not with Melly in particular, but rather with how these employees treat her. The prosecutor says one cop has already resigned and that no one wants to make the details public. Furthermore, it is yet unclear how the jail tech is doing. Let's keep it that way. Miss Bucko, who appears to be playing the game, tries to clarify that Melly's strategy for handling Paul Rain had a number of different elements and was more intricate than simply pressing witnesses. Shaney was able to obtain this knowledge by operating behind the scenes. The investigation is still in progress, so no one has concrete answers, which adds to its intrigue. The defense wants to determine if Melly's cover-up was related to these employees' misconduct. The serious accusation of actual witness tampering most likely had a significant role in the decision to relocate him. Let's talk about Melly's defense team and their VIP treatment, or lack thereof, because it appears that whenever his attorneys pay him a visit at Paul Ray, the entire building would be evacuated. The facility's off-limits to mobility would be announced even through the loudspeakers. Can you imagine the pressure? This was a standard procedure, and everything is unclear since they were worried about the paper becoming wet, which is really suspicious. When they checked his court documents, while they did not locate something on every page, they did uncover a number of kites, which are notes that inmates delivered to Melly. Though they didn't even document their conclusions in a report, they confiscated these as contraband along with some of his altered notes. The policeman stated that they had confiscated the items in front of Melly and gave an explanation, but no disciplinary report was produced. In April 2022, Melly was charged with having shackled keys, which was another strange incident. No disciplinary action was taken, despite the accuser being given an explanation. Escape was extremely serious when they said it was based on intelligence, yet everything seemed dubious, and the constable couldn't remember anything when asked. This is where the true problem lies. Each time Melly leaves, he is essentially put in administrative segregation or isolation. The deputies claim it's due to multiple instances, but they can't provide a clear regulation or set of norms for his care. It is absurd that other prisoners who actually tried to escape the same jail were accused of interfering and preventing him from accessing his cell, while the other prisoners in his unit were made to lock up. There were apparently even times when he was forbidden to watch television or read the newspaper. Were nevertheless given the ability to make phone calls and other privileges. It is ridiculously ironic that Melly, who has been found not guilty of anything, is denied nearly everything. As we continue our conversation about him, please share your thoughts. After 6 years, don't forget to view this video and comment below.